I just spent 30 days farming one domain with all my resin to see how long it takes to farm a good artifact set. In case you didn't know, artifacts are upgradable equipment in Genshin Impact that are the best way to make your characters stronger. There's plenty of upgrades to farm in Genshin, but once you've maxed out your character's level, weapon, and talents, artifacts are the primary form of endgame character progression. Each character has 5 artifact slots and needs at least 4 of them to be in the same set to take advantage of a powerful set bonus. You can always wish for constellations, 5-star weapons, or better teammates, but because stats and upgrades you receive from artifacts are almost completely random, you have to farm them a lot to get a good piece, let alone a good set. And the worst part is, after all that, Genshin is a gacha game, and only gives you so much resin to farm with each day. So the question is, just how long does it take to farm good artifacts? As a relatively newer player just entering the end game, I have to say, I really don't know. Don't get me wrong, I've been spending my resin in artifact domains for a while now, but it's only been in a sporadic way. I tend to get bored after farming a couple of days, and then I start farming bosses to upgrade other characters, other talents, or different weapons, or artifacts for other characters. And as a result, I have a decent amount of okay usable sets, but nothing strong enough to say clear all of the endgame content, like I've never full-starred the Abyss. So to that end, I decided to tough it out and spend every single day for an entire month farming one single domain to answer these questions. How long does it take to farm a full set? What exactly is a usable artifact? And how long should you spend farming for your favorite characters? Let's get into it. Originally, I had planned to include the footage from leveling all of the emblem artifacts, but I kinda realized while editing it all together that that would probably not be that succinct in giving you the results of my experiment. So leave a comment down below if any of you are gambling addicts like me who just like to roll artifacts and see if you can hit the jackpot, and I'd be happy to edit those clips together for a new video. But for now, I'll just spoil it and give you the total results and numbers breakdown of everything I got during this last month of farming. So here's the math. Every day you get 160 resin to run up a domain up to 4 times with condensed resin, which means I spent 4,800 resin running the emblem domain 120 times. From my 120 runs, I received 133 Shimenawa's pieces and 185 emblem pieces, including 25 from the strongbox. I had to strongbox a few times to make space for more artifacts, and I only strongboxed emblem a couple of those times, so you could potentially get a good bit more, but 185 is the number I ended up with. Of the 185 emblem pieces, I judged 35 of them to be potentially usable artifacts. Now, what a potentially usable artifact is, can, and should be different for different players depending on how long you've been playing, farming, and the overall quality of your current artifacts. Basically, if you roll something that's better than what you currently have, that is a usable artifact. For me, any emblem piece that had double crit or a single crit stat with multiple other useful substats, so for example, ER and attack percent for Xingqiu, or ER and EM for Xiangling, etc., were pieces that I locked to roll as potential upgrades. Of those 35 potential pieces, a surprising 12 of them ended up being usable pieces for me. That meaning pieces that were strict upgrades, again, to the pieces that I currently had equipped on my characters. So for me, approximately 6.5%, or a little over 1 in 20 of the total number of artifacts I farmed, ended up being upgrades for me. Again, your results may vary depending on the quality of your artifacts. And if I ever do this again, I'll probably end up with an even lower percentage since the overall quality of my artifacts has went up now. So here's what my overall CV is before. 59.97, 51.31, 29.156, and then Xingqiu's the other main one, 18,144. This is after we have 64,109, 286 energy recharge, Yelan is now at 58,138. So a little more crit damage than crit rate. Still needs a little more crit rate, but 203 ER is pretty good. Xiangling and Xingqiu, though, are looking a lot better. 48,110, almost perfect. And I have about 10 to 15 more ER. And then has 50,107, almost perfect. And just about the same amount of ER, 1% more. So overall, I would say a pretty nice improvement. So what's the conclusion? Well, it still depends on your account and how good your current pieces are, but if you have not done a ton of farming in the end game like me, I would say 30 days is certainly a good benchmark for one domain. Again, I got 12 usable pieces, you need 5 for complete set, so hypothetically you could get a little over 2 full sets of just one of the 2 sets in whatever domain you happen to be farming, which I would say is not bad. Now obviously I didn't farm 2 full sets. For example, I think like 4 of those usable pieces I got were all flowers, so it just depends. Also, I wasn't able to magically clear the abyss after this, so you'll probably have to farm longer than a month if that's your benchmark. I mean, I know people farm the same sets on and off for years to get these godly artifacts you see in videos. Just stick with it, and eventually your artifacts will get to that point. In any case, I'm so glad I did this experiment for myself, because now I have more realistic expectations for how long I need to farm a set, and now I have like 12 new pieces for my emblem holders. I'm definitely excited to start using my resin in other more varied ways, building some different characters, but we'll see what other sets I need to farm first to get me closer to that 36 star. I was able to farm for one whole team just by farming Emblem, and then strongboxing Noblesse for Bennett, which is fantastic. If you want to know what other domains you can do that with, click on the screen to see the most efficient artifact domains of 2024. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, please leave a comment below, like the video, and subscribe for more videos like this. Shalom, my friends. Have a good one.